Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment inquiry.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
Yo, that was fire.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that.
The person that's dealt with some people in the industry, I can personally tell you, most of them are bullshit. Most of them got something going on and they crazy, and they will have you. I'm talking about they'll have you crazy.
Yeah, you look professional, bro. You look real professional. Case, like Slim said, it's the beginning, man. We're gonna see more. It's gonna unfold, and
that mean I'm doing my job.
Hey. If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
Man, hold on, my camera ain't on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I thought she was that.
Dang.
Welcome to the man cave. All right, there you go.
Welcome to the man cave. We back on this Monday night. All right, we got some raw, unfiltered content for you guys. I always say, y'all see what the main event is? We gonna get to that, but we got some important stuff to cover beforehand. All right, let me go ahead and introduce the whole cast. I'm Vogel.
I'm Gray Mars.
Man, everybody else? Oh, damn, it's just us tonight.
Slim said he running late, but we can go ahead and get started.
All right. Man, I do this every time, man. But yeah, we got some wild stuff going on, man. What's up with your people over in Ukraine, man?
Blowing up the planes and stuff. That
yeah. They want World War III. Or you think Putin just BSing around?
I don't know. Trump said that he feels like Putin is basically pulling his leg. So he was upset about. He feel like Putin not trying to end the war.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I was thinking when I saw it that Trump give Zelensky the weapons to do it, because I thought they was running out of weapons.
But they saying they didn't even report it. Like they didn't tell the U.S. they were even doing it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Said they just went ahead with it. Let me see what I'm trying to find. All right, here we go. All right, so I got a video for that, and then we'll come back and finish it.
All right.
This morning, astonishing footage capturing in real time Ukraine's surprise drone attack on some of Russia's key airfields. Smoke rising into the air, the coordinated drone strike hitting at least 4 locations, crippling nuclear-capable bombers stationed deep inside Russia.
It looks like around 30% or higher of their strategic bombers were destroyed. Some of these drones were as low as $500, taking out million-dollar aircraft. It was a blow tactically, it was a blow strategically, and it was a blow politically.
This video shows the widespread damage. More than 40 aircraft in flames following an operation that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said was one for the history books. An attack that Ukrainian sources tell ABC News was a year and a half in the making. The drones capable of striking Russia after first being smuggled into the country on what appear to be shipping containers. The containers equipped with retractable roofs that could be opened remotely. And when the timing was right, Ukraine struck. Drones seen here in video shared online flying out on their mission. The Ukrainians did not inform the U.S. ahead of time. The apparent escalation in this war comes as President Trump has criticized Putin's attacks on civilians and grown increasingly impatient with both sides, threatening to walk away from peace talks.
Yo, so do you think Russia's that weak, or are they just kind of like chilling, since it's kind of like technically not a war and Ukraine just got that off?
Like they were saying that they've been planning for a year and a half, so they probably already knew, like, okay, we probably can go over here. It's probably gonna be minimum radar. I'm pretty sure the U.S. give them like intelligence. They probably got spies a part of like the Russian military, so they probably already had like a plan and said, okay, right now is the perfect time to attack, and then they attack, especially because now Trump is getting upset with Putin. So if they take Putin off, it's a possibility Trump may be on their side.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. So I know Putin. I mean, Putin has said this before. I just deep down, I just think he's a businessman in a sense and don't want to go there. I think it's just a threat. But I mean, none of us have ever seen a world war, so we have to tread lightly with that. But how do you feel as far as I guess we had this talk before, and how I see Russia doing it, I see Ukraine like Texas. I keep saying that. So I'm like, if the United States lost Texas, we're going to fight till we get it back. I don't see the U.S. just giving up Texas and you know what, we just their own country. I think it would be a fight for years. So this would be Russia.
So you basically feel like because they were a part of them during the Soviet Union, and then they're not a part of NATO, they have a more of a reason to like fight to like keep that.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, like, because they feel like they want the power, and then it's a lot of resources over there. And because a lot of resources over there, that's why Trump got that like rare mineral deal with them. So, I mean, that makes sense. They probably would fight tooth and nail for it because they feel like, okay, this is for us. And I think their military probably have way more people, and they probably got a lot more weaponry. So it probably could end up winning in the end. But, you know, Ukraine done dragged this out for so long, and it was supposed to end in 2 weeks. So I don't know if it will go into a world war, if China will be on Russia's side, or, you know, who side Trump would be on. Like, because they try to say Trump a dictator. You know?
But is Ukraine, like, don't quote me because I'm probably a little outdated on terms and stuff, agreements between countries. But does Ukraine have any type of NATO or any type of alliance where any country would have to jump in for them?
No. And that was like the big thing, because they tried to say that Putin felt like he could do this because they were putting people in NATO that were too close to his land. So basically, like, to say if like Cuba became a part, which is kind of happened at one point, work with Russia, then we would be upset because it's too close, because then they could put the nuclear warheads there, and then they could hit us with the nuclear warheads. So I don't know of anybody that Ukraine has like an alliance with to help them. I know they wanted to be a part of NATO because, you know, with NATO, it's like if you attack one person, you attack all of us, and then they all fight.
Yeah, because I heard somewhere they were saying Trump was considering just backing out the situation altogether. I'm in alignment with that at
Just
this point.
letting it go.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth a world war to save Ukraine. If Ukraine can't sustain its own sovereignty, then maybe Russia need to take over. That's how everything happens naturally anyway.
Do you feel the same way about Israel?
I don't know enough about it, but I will say at the end of the day, let people fight. You know, if they can't come to an agreement and they have this much disdain for each other, some people don't forget, some people don't give up. So my thing is, do you let it drag out for centuries, or you just let them get it over with now and let them see how they either see how bad it is, or one side just is off the earth?
Well, a lot of the underlying thing is money, because remember, like the Middle East, where we always say it's like it was about oil. It
Yeah.
was oil, so like that's really why they were like fighting over there. And then with Ukraine, I don't know what rare resources they got, but they got that. They got like some nuclear facilities, so they have stuff that the U.S. is interested in, and that's like the little thing, like because war is profitable to a certain degree. So I agree with you that like it's not worth all the hassle. And it's definitely not worth the loss of human life. But a lot of these people be thinking, okay, well, I'm just gonna take this for money, or mainly with Israel, I feel like it's philosophical, because it's like the Jews versus the Muslims, and the Jews feel like that's their land, and the Muslims feel like that's their land.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna say too, like just imagine, was it like Ukraine is like a security for Russia too, right?
Yeah.
Like just where it's located.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that to me that would be the same thing as far as like Texas and Mexico. So I mean, I guess I could see. Yeah, I don't know. I really just feel like if Ukraine can't back down, because Ukraine, I don't think will win that. If Russia really woke up, I think Russia now just kind of like, what you call that when you just put your hand out on somebody's head and they swinging. You kind of just sunning them like. But if they really woke up, like Ukraine would be over. At this point, I don't think it's worth the world war. Just let Russia do what they do. So if Trump saying he want to back off, if they can't figure it out, I'm like, back off, let them do what they do.
I feel you. I mean, like with Trump, you hear what they calling Trump now, right? They calling him Taco.
Nah, what?
Yeah, heard about that?
Nah.
It's Trump always chickens out. So basically, they try to say that Trump is not getting anything done. So they try to put pressure on Trump. So like with that, and Trump saying that, oh, he was gonna get it fixed, like within, I don't know, he said 24 hours of being in the office. Like, I don't know if he'll want to go out like that. Like, I'm pretty sure he'll because Trump is all about the deal. Like, I'm the person that makes the deal. So he's probably trying to look for like a deal, like, okay, Putin, let me give you something. Zelensky, let me give you something. Which I think he probably gonna try to say the land they already took, y'all take that, and then like let it be over. That's probably what he's gonna try to do.
I mean, the thing is, you can't force anybody to do anything, right? If you do, now you're really talking war. He did a lot by trying to say, hey, Russia, we can work this out. We'll give you this. We'll do that. Putin agreed in a sense, but now it's just like kind of backed out a little bit. And then you got Ukraine that they don't want to stop either. They want to fight. You can't stop two people that want to fight each other. You're going to have to just let them fight. The only way you stop it is a war, really. America would literally have to go take over Ukraine or go take over Russia to stop it. They want to fight each other. Let them fight.
Well, supposedly, Israel was going to bomb Iran, bomb their nuclear facilities, and supposedly Trump had to stop them, or Trump outed them about it or something. So it's just like they feel like America is supposed to be like the world police, so they'll get sucked into whatever. And that's a big reason that we're in debt, is like you said, these endless wars. I can't give you the exact number on how much the Iraqi war cost us, but it costs us a lot of money.
Yeah.
Put us in a lot of debt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm at the thing, let them fight. Trump is trying, like, I will say Trump at least has tried to negotiate, and neither side is listening. So
Right.
is it true that even Trump, the administration, has sent money to Ukraine, or was that Biden?
I haven't heard
administration.
about him saying anything. I know that people on the right upset because they feel like Trump said he wasn't going to send money for anything, but I haven't heard about him sending anything, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the 60 billion that Biden sent.
Oh, okay.
All right. Go to the next one. You heard about Zion Williamson?
Yeah, with the chick, the corn star.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna let academics fill us in. We'll come back.
All right, for sure.
Apparently, Zion Williamson. TMZ is now reporting that a woman, her name is going to be anonymous because she's going by Jane Doe, has filed a lawsuit against Zion Williamson. She's claimed to be one of his exes, and she has filed a lawsuit against the NBA star, claiming he raped her, kidnapped her, and terrorized her on multiple occasions throughout their years-long relationship. According to the suit, the violent incident took place September 23rd, 2020, after the woman had gone to Williams' Beverly Hills home. The accuser said she supposedly was tired and was trying to go to sleep, but he called her a stuck-up bitch and that she couldn't go to sleep without having sex with him. Williamson then pinned her down on the bed, sexually assaulted her. Afterwards, the lawsuit stated, took her phone, threw it, and then choked and screamed at her for talking too much. The woman alleges Williamson emitted an odor of alcohol during the encounter, and days later, on October 10, 2020, the accuser alleges Williamson raped her again after he got angry that she wanted to leave to visit friends in San Diego. According to the suit, Williamson then took her phone and laptop, preventing her from getting medical care. These two incidents were not isolated. According to the lawsuit, Williamson continued to abuse, rape, assault, and batter the plaintiff in California and other states, including Louisiana, Texas, until the relationship ended in 2023. The lawsuit states Williamson strangled the woman with such force that she feared for her life and eventually lost consciousness multiple times between 2020 and 2023. The woman also alleges that Williamson threatened to have a security guard shoot her in the head multiple times. She alleges Williamson threatened to have his security kill her parents as well. And during one 2022 incident in Louisiana, the lawsuit states Williamson pointed a loaded firearm at the woman's head, causing her to reasonably fear for her life.
What you think?
What I don't like about these cases is like the statute of limitations, and I'm not saying that no woman's a victim or every woman's a victim, but what I'm saying is, it's like I don't like that it takes so long for this stuff to come out, and then it comes out, and then it's like, okay, why did you wait so long? Like that was a thing that I was talking about with a Diddy trial today. The chick basically sued Diddy and got like 400,000, but she went for 10 million. And then she was still texting Diddy saying that she missed him afterwards. So it's just like, since this Me Too movement, they brought a Me Too movement. The defense attorney was like, oh, is this a Me Too movement money grab? And since the Me Too movement, it's been like a whole bunch of civil cases where a woman was raped, as they say, or hurt or assaulted in some type of way, and then now they want to be compensated.
Yeah, that's my issue. Like I keep saying, this is a business model now, and I almost think that it should be the same thing. The standard should be almost the same as criminal for this type of stuff. I would say my proposal is, if there's no rape kit, you must acquit. That's where I'm at with it. Like, if you didn't go to the police, if you didn't file a report, you shouldn't just be able to run straight to civil court. Like, I don't know why that's not a thing.
It should be a red flag, right?
Yeah, exactly. that should be like a big ass warning. These women aren't going to the police. And then I don't want to hear all that stuff about, well, they might be afraid to do this, nah, because there has to be a balance. This is a lot of, we're going to get into later about the red pill, but this is a lot of what the manosphere, the red pill men are saying. The fact that what's really happening, these women in their independence are using the courts as fathers, as their uncles, as whatever, because it's just like they have denounced men that used to be the job of the family to go find these dudes and put them in their place. And then if you had the men around and women were doing what they're supposed to do, they would never be in these situations, or it would be minimal. You would hear about it every now and then. But the fact that women have opted out, have chose to do things on their own, they want to date, they want to play around. And then when things don't work out, they want to come back and say, pay me. That's all I'm hearing here.
They use the court as a weapon. I feel like restraining orders, child support, divorce. Because here's the thing, with getting married, the man 9 times out of 10 is going to be the one that gets screwed. I know we had one person, like one guy on here. That's probably one of the only people, maybe one other person that I met with a woman was on child support. It is so rare for the man to like actually get the kids and get paid. The guy always gets screwed. So like, if it was the other way around and women were the ones who had to pay, it would be a lot of women in jail, and it would be a lot of families still together if it was the other way around.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up after the next clip I play, because what you just said is on some real shit. But yeah, and then do you think that the Mariah Mills chick is a Jane Doe?
That's the chick that he was with? That was her name?
Well, I think it was his ex or whatever. But right now they're saying they haven't released the name of the actual person who's suing.
Oh,
it's just under Jane Doe. But the TMZ ran into Mariah Mills and interviewed her, and she basically was saying some stuff about it. I might have a clip if you want me to play it.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, play it.
Let me see if I can find that clip. But yeah, when I heard it, I was like, man, she probably part of it too.
Who is she? Who's Mariah Mills?
Cornstar.
Oh, she's one too?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I found it.
Yeah. You got, okay, say, nah, I can play it.
Speculating that you maybe are Jane Doe. What's the deal?
So before I answer that, I would like to say I really hope all the victims, including me, get justice, and things that have happened in the past with him and with anybody else, everything gets resolved, because a lot of us don't deserve that. And I just feel like a lot of things have been swept under the rug for so long, and I feel sorry to the victim. I've been through a lot of stuff with him, and it's just shocking,
Has this suit that you saw, drop just now, given you any feelings like, hey, or inspiration to file your own grievances, your own suit?
I don't want to talk about that right now without my lawyer present, but I'm just shocked, and hopefully he changes, and the victim and me and everyone else can find comfort and move past all this.
Any message to Zion himself?
Zion, I hope you can change your ways and just change, because this is disgusting what you're doing to everyone, and it's just not right. And this is not the man that I met a few years back. This is not who I thought you would become. This is not a representation of your job, and this is very serious. And I just hope you change your ways, because your job and your family and your legacy is on the line. This is serious.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
is Zion single?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine so, but
I
I don't
mean,
know.
this give me Deshaun Watson vibes. When Deshaun Watson had all the stuff going on with the massages,
Yeah.
you know, I know these guys be young and then, you know, they get money real quick and they're young and they done seen these women. And then it's like, oh, now that's not a fantasy anymore. I really can spend this money and really have these women like that.
Yeah.
But you gotta be careful. Like now, you have to be careful. Like even Bill Cosby got. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Man, when I hear a lot of these women that say, like these men are abusive or doing certain things, and they're still single, and this is a track record of that, like I don't think the man is 100% guilty. Do I think he's guilty of not knowing how to control himself? Yes.
I agree that that's a
But
red flag.
yeah, but it seems like a lot of these women are provoking these types of behaviors, and they probably can't even deal with a guy who doesn't do that type stuff.
I mean, like with this situation, it's a chick doing adult films, and then it's
Yeah.
like you really go come after this guy that's like an NBA. He's not really like that, but at one point, people thought he was going to be this big phenomenon in the NBA. Like you're really going to destroy this man. So I'm not saying that but it seems like it's sort of levels to like what type of women that these are. So in that situation, it's kind of like, why are you doing this to him? Are you doing this for attention? Or are you really doing this for the money? Because he's about to lose a lot if the allegations are true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's up, man? Man, my thing about that, like, yo, like I said, this is red pill, this is whatever you want to call it. You were a porn star. You shouldn't even expect anything better. I know that's sad to say, but this is why we trying to tell women, y'all got to stop doing this kind of stuff. And then you're going to go after an NBA player. Like, y'all tell us certain people out of our league, you are out of this guy's league. Because most men, if once they know you're a corn star, did I say that earlier? My bad. Yeah. They know you're a corn star. This is how you going. That's how they're gonna treat you. It's like getting a used car and then expecting it to, like it's fresh off the lot. No, I expect this car not to run that long. I'm gonna get to where I need to go, and for him, that's basically busting a couple, and then keep it moving. To me, I would say the reason why he probably was a certain way towards her is because she was trying to get more than what she valued at.
I completely agree with that. Like, it's really like, for me, it's like, if it would have been a situation where it was like a girl he was dating, or even if it was just like a person with like a normal job, I would have been like, okay, you know, this makes sense. Maybe he's like at fault. But her career, like how you said, red flags if a girl is single. It's not, for me, it's not that she's single, it's that you make adult films for a living, but you wouldn't act like you got taken advantage of. Like, that's like somebody that's hustling being like, man, they just targeted me. Like, it's like you kind of inviting that type of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I told my wife, I'm like, yo, these women that are trying, like somebody like her, that's a corn star.
Yeah.
Somebody like her that's a corn star, that's thinking about putting a lawsuit against, that's like suing somebody for walking on public property. That's how I look at it. I don't know. Hey, it's just like, how can you sue for that? Like, you're giving it up every day. But I know this whole consent thing is a thing, but if you go in the corn, don't expect to be respected. That's all I gotta say. All right, let's bring up Doc.
You unmute him, Vaughn?
Let me see. Nah, I didn't.
Okay. I muted myself.
Okay.
I said, nah, man. I think it's just a weird world we live in though now, because like if you say too much or you do too much, you know, you will lose everything you ever worked for. So I think a lot of these people is forced into the position of taking these stands with the women, because you ain't allowed to be who you used to be no more.
Yep. What you think the solution is?
I don't think it is no solution. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think like, I not even just like people who have like a lot of money like Diddy and stuff like that. Just you get people like the dudes from the F&F show. You know what I'm saying? Who they talk crazy, but they talk to the 100%, to the 80% of men who don't interact with women. So then, you know what I'm saying? Then they get to acting crazy. Women get to acting crazy, and then we be, you know, stuck that if you hold real traditional male values and qualifications, you the problem in the world now.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I'm gonna say I think one of the biggest problems is the fact that we are listening to women, because women don't know what they want. I think that's a big issue too.
That they don't know what they want.
Yeah. Or they don't know what they need. That's why the world is so messed up now. They claim they want certain things, and it's usually not good for them.
I think go ahead.
No, you go.
I feel like they think about emotionally. They don't really think like logically and say, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. This is what makes sense. I think they think in the moment, the heat of passion, and you know, then if something goes wrong, they blame somebody else and don't take accountability. I think that's the problem with women.
Yeah, and that was the problem with giving them power, voting rights, and everything else. They have all this access, but there's no consequence for it. It's just like being on the football field with no rules. They just throwing the ball, kicking the ball. There's no referee there. So that's what it's like. They just running wild, like a kid just doing what he want to do.
But I think the only genuine like real way to correct that is to give women equality.
They already have it.
Nah, they don't got it. I think they need to have all the stuff we got. Like
They do. They got more than we got.
Nah, they need to be drafted to the military. They need to be forced into the infantry when they scores low. There can't be no cook, baby. With
No,
my
you know
homeboy,
what? I do agree with you on that.
true equality, like not this version that they think is equal. My homeboy got a 31 on his ASVAB. They gave him one job choice, infantry.
No, I do agree with that. I feel like the moment that something like that come up and women could be drafted, they'll go home.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, baby, what you want to eat tonight?
And not
they're gonna
just
be cooking
drafted.
steak, washing clothes, everything that they fighting against now, they will be back doing it exactly for the reason you said. I agree 100%. The world is too safe.
I think women are held to a different standard in criminal court. When they go to family court, all of these things, they ain't given a true equal shake like they think they want. And I think the only way to even give them that feel of how it is and what it really is sometimes is to give them 100% equality. I think 100% equality would change how they feel.
And you know why that is? As men, we're programmed to protect women.
Yeah.
And then again, as men, we are competitive with each other. So guess what? If you got a man that's been held down in court, child support, custody, divorce, giving up his money, that's in a sense give other men, like while you're distracted, you got other men getting ahead of you. So the whole system, like people think it's a system, a lot of it is just our nature. If you strip down everything, all this extra shit that we have, our nature is to fight for resources, fight for the best legacy for our offspring, to spread our seed. That comes sometime we'll go against each other to get the best woman if a woman's around. So if you put all that into society and what we have today, you will see that's why family court ruins us.
For sure. I don't know where he went, but I'm gonna play the thing. Subscribe if you're watching right now. Go ahead, Vogler.
All right. hopefully come back. But I'm gonna go into the next. Oh, it said the kids coming out. So apparently, there's a thing going around on the dark TikTok of women that are complaining and basically saying if you have a man that wants full custody, give it to him. Not because they want the best interest of the kid, is because they think men don't really want custody. They just want to opt out of child support and that they'll get the custody back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this because I'm still paying off my rear, so I want to know how do I sign up? They wildin'.
They don't take care of their kids, got the most shit to say about their baby mama and what she not doing or what she ain't doing. Because y'all love to play this damn victim role. Why do y'all think us baby mamas would just randomly keep our kids away from y'all? We need breaks. We need time to ourselves. Why do y'all be sitting over here saying that we keeping the kids away from y'all when y'all could come get y'all kids? And then what's crazy is when we say, hey, come get y'all kids, then it's, oh, no, oh, you just looking for a babysitter. You looking for this, you looking for that. Like, nah, come get your kids. You want your kids that bad, come get them. These niggas love saying, oh, let me get full custody of my kids since you having a hard time. Nigga, because I need a break? I can't ask for a break or get upset. And when I do, you want to talk about, oh, let me get full custody of the kids? Nigga, you ain't took care of your kids since, and all of a sudden you want to get full custody like you can really take care of them? Because I be so confused. The minute that you complain about your kids and what they doing and you ask your baby daddy for a break, then all of a sudden you're this badass parent. Like, how you gonna ask me for full custody and you ain't been able to take care of them your own self?
It's a girl where I live. Her name Love Dorsey. She's been on Anton Danes before.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
She from my same city. We actually dealt with some of the same artists before when I worked in like the recording industry. So as you know, probably like she talks about holding women accountable and stuff like this. And one of the big things she says is that if you look at it, the children from a single male household are the most successful. And I don't feel like the government goes off of that. I feel like people just automatically go, oh, it's the woman's job with the children, and the woman can act and do whatever she wants. Women are the ones that will keep the children away from the man for any reason, just because they mad. But men, they baby mama can be a whole crackhead, and they will still make sure that she get to see the kids.
Yeah. Because guess what? Men are more valuable in the market than they are raising kids. Even if you're together, most of the time you're gonna have the man that's, you know, the breadwinner or working, or at least out doing the jobs that most women aren't gonna do, filling in potholes, etc. You know, that's my favorite thing because our streets here are terrible. But that's why men are more valuable in the workforce than they are raising kids, but we still get, and I'm not going to even say punish. I used to think punish, but I think both parties get punished when you can't work together. Right. If you can't be married, first of all, you got the marriage penalty, the taxes. And then that's even getting worse now. Because even with the, bill they trying to pass, if you're married, you get more benefits. That's why a lot of women are getting mad, because this bill really is pushing for 2-parent households. But both parties get penalized. The man get penalized financially. The woman get penalized with time. And that's really what they're screaming about, is they don't get any time. But like you said, when you said earlier, women think in emotion. So when they're mad at the man. They're not thinking in their head, you know what? Maybe I should give him his time so that I can get a break. It's like they hate the father more than they love the child. Exactly. In that sense. And that's what's going on.
Hey, you just said my whole life right there. My baby mama. I was with her for the longest, like, and she still is just mean for no reason. But they have so much animosity for you. They're not thinking clearly. They don't care about finances. They don't care about a child. They don't care about their own parents because they're so focused. Like, okay, I got to destroy this person. So like that's the big thing. It was a boxer. I can't think of the boxer name. He went viral. I wish if I would know, I'll put it in here. But the guy, he basically was saying that shout out to the mothers that don't let the men see their kids. And we don't talk about family court because like you do a parenting plan, but if you try to take them back to court, they don't really enforce it. They don't really care.
Yeah. Well, you can't. It just you got to file that motion.
Yeah.
As the non-custodial parent. No, they do. You just got to file that motion. And there are probably some judges that don't, but for the most part, I think on the man's end, you got the advantage if you're the non-custodial parent. As long as you make your payments, they don't care. They're not going to take your rights or anything like that. It's just that mother don't get the child. But in reverse, you better make that payment.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But no, as far as like, and that's, I'm gonna start having a lot of stuff on my channel about how to navigate that. But yeah, you can get the police involved in everything when it comes to parenting. If you got a parenting plan and the woman's not letting you see the kid, the police will enforce it. Like, hey, it's his time. You got to do whatever. Or sometimes some states will make it kidnapping. If you don't turn that child, if you don't turn that child over at 6 p.m. like you're supposed to,
would you take it that far?
It depends. If it's just like because the thing is, you go to court and get all this in place for that. So if I just spent all this time, all this money to make sure I can see my kid, and then you want to act up, I would.
For me, I feel the same way. Like, I mean, I've called the police because it's just been like, listen, like, I'm not about to do this back and forth with you. Like, you acting wild. So, but it's like, it emasculates you because it's like, oh, you tried to call the police, you know, she looking down on you. So it's just like, listen, I don't even want these type of problems. You're bringing these problems to me. But the police did tell her like, oh, well, once he divorced you, like he could call us over here and then you really gonna have to deal with it. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm just like, she's so out of her mind. I don't even know if I want to test it. You know, so I don't know if it's like, if other men are like that, because like I filed a motion like, okay, she's not acting right. And then like, oh, well, you got to like call here and do this. Because I was doing it myself. I didn't have a lawyer. So they were trying to get me to do more stuff to get it enforced. So I just was like, man, I'm not even about to deal with all this. Because like my daughter's a teenager. Like they want to hang out. She want to hang out with her friends. She a cheerleader. So it's just like, you know what? I don't even got time for this.
Yeah, man. No, I wanted to say, matter of fact, we could just roll this into the main event because a lot of stuff I'm about to ask you is going to be pretty much similar to the main event. But no, like we got to get past that. Calling the police or law enforcement or things like that, it shouldn't make you feel emasculated.
Right.
Now, letting a woman run over you and you being scared, that's a shame a man should feel towards himself, not from the woman, but from himself, because you have to determine if it's worth it. If it's worth it, go get it done. To me, that shows you being more of a man, that you like, hey, I'm gonna go do what I'm supposed to do, file things the right way, and make sure I can see my kid, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like in the beginning, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to war. I had the energy to like go to war with her. But after like time passed and like it's 4 years now, it's kind of like, bro, like you still mad? Like I don't even have like the like animosity anymore. You know what I'm saying? I've been with my girl for 4 years. So I'm like, bro, like I don't have the time for this. Like my daughter's about to drive. I'm just like, you know what? I don't even got the. And I feel like that's what happens with people, with men. Like you're working, you're living, you got a new chick, so it's kind of like you don't want to be seen as a deadbeat. And what I will say is, I thank God for my mom, and even to an extent, her mom and her sisters, because I got other people I can go through. I don't have to go directly to her. I can just be like, hey, I'm gonna hit my daughter up and say, hey, this person gonna do this, this person gonna do this. So I'm thankful for that situation, but that's not a lot of people's situations. Like she got 2 sisters and a brother. I can deal with them and her mother or something. Or my mom and my sister. I can just be like, I'm not gonna deal with her.
Yeah. So there's a study, and because a lot of women try to shame men, or society call men deadbeats. Here's the fact. Most parents, no matter if it's the mother or father, if they are the non-custodial parent, they're more than likely suffering from out of sight, out of mind. This is not a deadbeat issue. It is a focus issue. You can't focus on what you don't control, especially as a man. If you decide to leave, divorce, have your own house, single mother, you can't expect the other parent, I'm gonna say fathers mostly, but other parent, to know when the child has a dental appointment, know the child's grades, all this stuff. Yeah, there may be a few people who are talented like that, but the average human can't focus on what's not around them because they probably got a bunch of stuff going on. So to a lot of these women who are single mothers, this is normal. This is what y'all need to expect. When you decide to break up the union, this is the consequence, things y'all don't know about. A lot of y'all don't understand consequences. That's why y'all so frustrated. In y'all mind, y'all should be like, you know what? I'm about to divorce this man because I really didn't like him anyway. I kind of just met him at the club and got knocked up, or I accepted him because I was running the streets and lost my value, and I needed a pet in the house. So I got with him. I really don't like him like that. Just know when y'all do this and y'all split up, that this part of the package. Out of sight, out of mind. That's not, y'all got to stop blaming. If y'all start blaming that on yourselves and taking that into consideration, you'll probably think twice. One, before letting him lay his pipe. You'll try to find a man who you know is going to be there. That's what all this, that's when y'all say stuff like that, his grades is this, the father don't care about that. That's what y'all covering up. Y'all chose wrong.
Makes sense.
So, and the reason why I say I want this to go into the main event, because this is what the red pill highlights. And this is why a lot of people, you got a lot of single mothers, women, simps, soft men on the outside who are rooting for the downfall of the manosphere. Why? Because we say stuff like this. Like I said, I don't even consider myself manosphere. I don't do the red pill thing a lot, but guess what? A lot of us, when you speak accountability, society puts you into this same category. So when I say, because I'm gonna speak on some people that's big on here, and they'll say quick they're not part of the manosphere red pill, but when I say that, I'm telling you what society is putting us all in the same category because we speak accountability. So yeah, that's what, when y'all do this stuff, this is what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get fathers who are there. There's gonna be a small 5% maybe of the fathers who can have their life over here and still be focused on everything. I had to get past that myself. Missing the dental appointment, I try to get to some of the school things, but I'm working so much. If I don't get an email or something about it, I don't hear about it. And shit, most men don't keep up with their own appointments. Most of the time, if you married or got a woman, she's making your dental appointment, your medical appointment. Like wires are good for that.
That's
so
true.
Why would you expect a father to do this with his kid when a lot of times he's worried about bringing home the bacon and he's expecting you, hey, keep up that end for me.
Right. That makes sense. Like with my kid, the school called my phone, but I'm not focused on anything. And what I'll give her is she became their coach. So it's just like she wanted to be super mom, man, and just get rid of me. So I just was like, all right, go ahead.
And you know what a lot of this turned into?
What?
A lot of women who do that, they're really trying to shift the blame to the man, right? When they say stuff like he don't love his child as much because he don't do what I do. Men love differently. But guess what? A woman can't take accountability. So she would never say, you know what? I either chose wrong. I chose the streets instead of trying to work on my marriage or trying to work to stay with the father. Even if we made this bed, I chose to get out of it. They're not going to say none of that. What they're going to do is tell you that you don't love the child, or they're going to go tell their friends over wine that the father, he don't care, he don't, all this stuff that they know is not true. What it really is, y'all more than likely 80% y'all blew up the situation.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it. Like the divorce rate, the breaking up, and that's why they saying like it's a birth. And I was thinking about this today. They said like it's a birth rate problem in America, and it's just like, and they say to the women they need to incentivize the women. I feel like no, you need to incentivize the men. The men are one that don't want kids because they know they're gonna get ripped off if they have kids with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's gonna be hard to do when you can't work together.
Yeah.
That's the situation. If we're gonna bring more kids in the world, it's the co-parent situation is not gonna work. We're bringing kids in, people are gonna have to come back, and that's not gonna happen
financially.
Yeah.
Florida, where I live, it's higher than Miami. Miami was like the highest rent. Tampa's now the highest rent. So it's like if you single paying that on your own, like it's like $1,600 a month. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like so, when you with a relationship, everything gets cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your take on the manosphere red pill, especially after talking about this?
I think that like with red pill is basically like for young men that's like struggling, that need like guidance. I didn't know. I learned on the last show that it's some guy that's like, you probably know who he is. I don't know who he is. He's the godfather of red pill. I got introduced to Kevin Samuels when everybody else got introduced to Kevin Samuels. I didn't know Kevin Samuels was red pill, but they say he red pill. So I'm kind of learning a lot more. But from what I've seen, it's kind of like where the men want to say the woman's the problem and the woman causing this. But now I hear them say, "Oh, Kevin Samuels also critique men." So you probably know more than me. I'm just watching what's going on.
Yeah, you talking about Rollo Tomasi?
Is that who it is? That's probably
Yes.
the guy that they was talking about.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
a
who he
few.
is.
The original came from the 90s. His name was Tom Likas. He had a syndicated radio show out in LA. And a lot of the red pill guys came from that because he was brutal. I'll send you a link, but he got a whole channel on YouTube full of videos. But yeah, all this stuff that's going on now was going on back then. It just wasn't cameras and internet for us to hear about it.
So what's like the basis of red pill? Like if you were to like describe it.
Accountability. That's really what red pill is. It's basically accountability. It's being a man about things, as far as like not being weak, taking care of responsibilities, that type stuff, right? But you got your shock jocks, which I can kind of be sometimes, but I kind of limit that because my conscience wouldn't sit right. But yeah, that's really what it is. If you can look past, 'cause like I said, it helped me out. I was able to look past all the fluff and be like, you know what? I don't believe in the promiscuity even with men, just because you can bring kids in the world. Like I said, they're not in a 2-parent household. There are many diseases out here. So that's why I don't push for promiscuity. I push for, have you heard of extended adolescence?
No.
So that's what, because a lot of people now are saying people need to get their rocks off, or they need to have fun in college and worry about marriage later. That's only because we teach. Society now pushes for extended adolescence instead of early responsibility. And that's what a lot of if you really look into the red pill past what society is trying to show you with the Andrew Tates and all that, like that's just like 1-2% of the red pill. If you really go into the more boring guys, they really preach responsibility. Book of Alpharonomy. There's a few other ones that really teach good stuff. A lot of women will still be offended by a lot of stuff that they teach, but then they got a good female following too.
But the
And-
popular, go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
The popular ones are the ones that say wild stuff, but though, right? Though, like, because like you name people like I give you an example, like Tommy Sotomayor, right? He was
Yeah.
on Fatty Show actually, but I saw his video recently, and he was basically like, the women called him ugly, so now that's why he attacking the women, and so I'm just like, okay, like, so what? You just attacking the people because he was like, oh, he was basically saying this. He was basically saying like, y'all are voting for Democrats because of slavery, and y'all weren't a slave, and nothing happened to y'all, but these women actually attacked me and said I was unattractive and all this bad stuff about me, and it actually happened to me, and so I get to say this. So it's like, I think it's so many people, the faces of the red pill movement, they're saying much more horrific things than like the people you talking about.
Yeah, and I rock with Tommy Sotomayor.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I can look past like a lot of his entertainment, but I
Yeah.
can look past to see the basis. Basically, what he say is a lot of the black culture, not because not everybody, but the culture of what's celebrated is very contradictory, right? And the thing is, a lot of us as blacks, we blame slavery, we blame everything but ourselves for why we're where we're at, right? So that's a lot of what he preaches. And as soon as he does that, he's called an Uncle Tom. I get called it. If you go through my comments on my other channels, I've been going in. All they is Uncle Tom this, Coon that, like, it's just all these slurs for preaching responsibility. That's what a lot of these guys, that's really what they're getting attacked for, is because guess what? Most of the world, most of society now wants to have fun. And the red pill is saying at some point you got to give up fun. Like Vivica getting a BBL at 60. It's like, when do you give up the vanity stuff and start to mature and look back and bring up the younger generations? Why you think Vivica getting a BBL? She's trying to compete with the 25-year-olds.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what the red pill preaches. Like, when do we grow up?
So what's the difference between red pill and black MAGA?
Honestly, they're just different groups. Okay. The red pill is going to lean right because right is more about responsibility. That's why it's called conservatism. If you look at liberalism, I can't say the word.
Yeah.
That's more about, they say, liberating, being free. But here's the thing, being free comes with a price. And if you're too free, that's how you enslave yourself. And a lot of people that are conservatives and take responsibility understand that structure is freedom. And the way I teach it to people is, think about your body. Would you be able to do what you do if you weren't structured in your body, if your skin didn't hold you together? If you wanted total freedom and just like, let me be free, what would happen to your body if your skin went away? You would turn to a glob. So that's a lot of people, the feminists and all them, saying they're trying to oppress us, they trying to do that. No, the decisions y'all make out of emotion and stuff like that is what's really oppressing y'all. It's not us. If the women come back to the men, because that's really what this is, this whole gender war thing. If the women come back to the men and let the men lead, you got women that you can't tell a leader how to lead. You might be able to advise, but you don't have the experience. You don't have the stick. We ordained with the stick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because guess what? If you got a stick, you're not getting away with everything. You being held accountable.
That's true. That's true.
So you make better decisions. Why? Because since you got a stick, society holds you accountable. Women get away with everything. So you think they're going to make the best decision knowing that there's a cushion waiting for them if they fall?
I feel you. I feel like if I was to say black MAGA, I'd say that's like Byron Donalds, Tim Scott, Officer Tatum, like Candace Owens, those people.
Yeah.
I feel like they're more like, okay, like we gonna try to do some government stuff. I feel like red pill is more like Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines. I guess Kevin Samuels, like, it's more like, we're gonna point out the hypocrisy with women we're gonna say how women are using their femininity or manipulating or not taking responsibility of what they're doing. And the red pill is more taking that on and saying we're not going to deal with women just saying that we're the problem now. Like, so that's what I've seen from just, I don't think you met the Asian guy that I can't remember his name, but he was like a red pill content creator. I was trying to get him to come on here.
Yeah. But like I said, that's the feminists, that's the independent women that see the red pill as a threat. Because the thing is, how I know somebody's genuine is if they come to me and be like, you know what, I seen Booker Alpharonomy, I seen Coach Greg Adams. They don't disrespect women like that. It's sad that we got which I'm not saying, I'm just saying for them because I love Myron Gaines, but it's sad we got the Myron Gaines and Andrew Tate bringing it down. I don't even see that. It's just saying they're like, that's all the red pill is. Like, no, it's not it. So that's how I know it's disingenuous, because they're not bringing the whole story. They just want to put the bad stuff out there and then say, hey, kids are offing themselves or abusing people because of the red pill. No, it's not.
Do you feel
what's the boy name? Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah.
I don't think he pulled out a knife because of red pill. I think he pulled out a knife because of liberalism and preaching that black people are still oppressed and under racism.
Did they say it was a red pill?
Huh? No, I'm just saying, yeah. I'm just giving an example. Like, no, yeah. I'm just saying you see more of the liberal ideology causing this stuff than red pill.
Do you feel like the red pill movement is dying, or do you feel like your title? You feel like it's growing?
I feel like it was. Here's the thing: it was never meant to be in the public in the first place. If you look at the original people, like I heard y'all talking about the other day, but y'all didn't go back far enough. Yeah. Have you heard of Sandman?
No, I didn't know none of those people that they was talking about. Yeah.
So Sandman was one of the originals. To this day, we don't know what Sandman looked like. I think he was like Canadian or something, but he did videos with no image. It was just talking. He might have had like a picture on the screen. This was the original red pill because it was such a threat at the time that they felt like if they would have came out or they would have been doxxed, attacked, things like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the red pill was an underground movement. It was never really supposed to be this mainstream thing. I'm glad it has become that, and I still think it's effective. There's still guys looking for it. Like I said, I find guys every day that's never heard of it, and I put them on game, and they hit me up later like, man, thank you. It's helped me out. I didn't understand what's going on with my girl. My life's been hell. I'm going through legal stuff, child support, whatever it is, and this stuff is still helping them out. So in the Hollywood sense, yeah, it may be. But as far as it being utilized, no, I think it's still growing. And the more fatherless homes we have, the more men are going to turn to it. It's just like anything AI, and like what's different about learning how to become a man? Everybody else go to the internet for dating, recipes, whatever it is. What's different about? So yeah, go ahead.
Do you feel like it's fair that they've been demonetized and like it's hard for them to make money on their content? Because that's what Myron Gaines complained about and did with Andrew Tate. They was trying to get him for like real crimes, but they really don't let these guys like make money off content because of the stuff they talk about. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't think it's fair, but when you fighting for what's right and you going against the grain, this is what happened. You had MLK, Malcolm X, like that's what happens when you stand up. That if you're not getting attacked or you're not losing certain things, you're probably not making an impact.
So you feel like red pill the future is going to make like major changes?
Yeah, I think water seeks its own level, and if we can't bring 2-parent households back, this is where men are going to go. It's going to be a small amount of men, but I think the men who discover and really get into it, and who can sift through the toxic part of it and just see the structure, the core values, and the accountability side of it are going to be the future leaders, politicians, and things like that, especially on the conservative side.
Yeah.
Like there's going to have to be, you got to have that, equal balance, because you got feminists out here talking about now a baby should have consent.
It's funny because it's like,
you
I
shouldn't
could,
feed a baby until it says they ready to eat and they can't talk. Come on, man.
I feel like it's a lot like the most politicians on right and left now, like, are more like business people or about money. I couldn't imagine like a super left person or a super red pill person, like a real politician. It would be interesting to see like if Myron Gaines was a real politician.
I mean, you see it. What's his name? The vice president.
You feel like he red pill?
Yeah, you see what he first said when he was talking about he said something towards women. He caught a lot of he said something about single moms or something
ladies,
like that. Cat
ladies.
ladies.
Yeah.
That's red pill 101 right there. And he caught a lot of pushback for it.
Well, yeah, I feel you on that. Like, but yeah, I mean, it's a growing movement. I mean, like, is Charleston White red pill? How you feel about Charleston White? He's red pill. Okay.
If you, like I said, I'm taking red pill as accountability.
Okay.
Or when I say accountability, I mean blaming yourself first, and not blaming society, not blaming the thunderstorm, not blaming some outside force first. You blame yourself, or you look within, and if you can't find the fault there, then you go to the outside. Right? To me, that's red pill, and that's what Charleston White. He gets called coon also. And the reason why, because he'll be like, yeah, out here doing this, and you keep blaming the white man, but it's you.
Right.
A lot of people, they don't want that mirror up. And that's what the opposition, red pill really has a huge mirror, and people don't like that mirror.
Why do you think like the people that's supposed to be red pill try to distance themselves away from like being called red pill?
Because the stigma behind it.
Right.
And I think some people just got egos, and it's going to be a fight within. That's what's going on right now. Like, I'm gonna play this video too.
Yeah.
There's a fight within, right? You ever heard where they say like in your marriage, or you should keep things at home?
Yeah.
You shouldn't argue in public. You shouldn't, or even with kids, like keep it at home. But how you present yourself on the outside, make sure that's always good. Can't hardly do that on the internet. Like, everything is exposed, so everybody gets to see. But that's kind of what's going on. The red pill community, like I said, this is everybody that preach accountability. I'm putting you on the red pill community just for this. Yeah, there's a little civil war going on right now, but that don't mean that it's breaking up or it's falling apart. It's just that iron sharpens iron. And people are going to have different views. But at the end, for me, I'm like, what's the end goal? Right? And I think the end goal is for men to not be ran through the courts, abused financially. For women, bringing them back, have them focus on family and being, mothers with the fathers. Same thing with the fathers. Having them to choose right, things like that, them not being promiscuous. Those are like the core things of red pill. But guess what? To the average person now, because we preach extended adolescence, that's boring. We are all focused on fun. I literally was talking to a friend of mine. He told me that I talk down, I'm bad for the black community. I talk down on the black community. And when I pressed him on why, he was like, well, the things you say, kind of like what your friend said about me being a cult leader.
Yeah.
He's like, the things you say, in a sense, it's oppressive, and I'm out here to have fun. I'm like, see, that's your problem. You want fun. Like 40 years old, no kids, no family, just want to have fun. I'm like, to me, that's not cool. And, he'd be like, well, that's my choice. That's my decision. I'm like, okay, you're just here. Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but
I feel what you're saying. Like he's not really building legacy. He's just hanging out.
yeah, just here, yeah. So that's kind of like what the red pill is, have a purpose. And the man's purpose is to build societies and then leave a legacy, which will be children. And you can't do that when you have the other half that just want to run around and have fun and don't want to listen. And now we're in a system to where we've given them a power. And instead of them using that power responsibly, they have weaponized it with all these charges, with everything else.
For sure. I want to see the video you talking about.
All right, so this, I think, was it Skeptic brought up the saint in the center?
I'm not sure,
but he goes against a lot of the red, I guess you call them red pill community, like Candace Owens. So let me play it.
Ask me, Marquette, why do you attack so many people? Well, I'd prefer if I didn't have to, but as it turns out, we're in cultural war. And as a result, I might attack someone because they're spreading corruption among the youth. They say, why do you attack Dr. Umar? You're a black man, he's a black man. Can't be a black man attacking another black man. I say, well, actually, I must, because he tells black women that they're mother, queen, this or that. And no, you're not a queen when you're being promiscuous, so I must attack him. And Andrew Tate has a lot of great qualities, but when he tells you that money's going to solve all of your problems, that's wrong. And I must attack him. Or when you have Dr. Jordan Peterson says that he helps men, but he's always crying on television. Well, that's not manly. I must attack him. It's Sasson or nothing. I will persist, because it's not only important to destroy these false ideas, which are dangerous, it's also important to destroy the messengers.
Yeah, I've seen that guy before. I've seen him. Some guy was talking about you like to attack black people. And then I guess that guy was a teacher in Baltimore. That was actually did like activist stuff and help kids.
So, he's a truck driver or something.
Yeah.
I seen that one.
So I've seen his stuff before, but I didn't know he was red pill. I just thought he was a random guy on YouTube.
No, he doesn't claim it. Like I said, just for this purpose. Okay. Like I said, I'm doing it from society. Basically says anybody who's accountable or who acts macho, masculine, fits in this category. So that for me, just to give it an identity, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, he doesn't claim any of it. Okay. He just claimed to be a man of truth, which most of the time I agree with. Some things that he say to go off the edge, but what man agrees with 100%? Right. Any other man said, but for the most part, I rock with the saint.
Yeah. It seems like you have a more like positive like viewing of like red pill than like what is out there, what people like say red pill is like. Because when I think red pill, I think Andrew Tate with a bunch of women in chains locked in a dungeon or something. Like I never think like, or just like, attacking women. I never think just like where you put it like, oh, we got to be accountable. We got to do this as a man. Like, but I guess there's more people out there like that what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, really what it is, we in a society of men who listen too much to women. That's really what it is. I know it comes off misogynistic, but it's actually very loving, because most women aren't going to make the right decisions when it comes to like survival and stuff like that. When you're in survival mode, you can't make good decisions. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make desperate decisions. So what a lot of this is women used to be like, you know what? Handle that. A lot of times women don't want to make the big decisions anyway. Let a woman talk long enough. She'll tell you, if I can't find a man who's a man who can step up and tell us where to go eat, who can step up and pay these bills, who can step up and do this, I don't want them. But then they want to turn it around when it benefits them. That's why as a man, you understand you have to be one way all the time. If you're a leader, you're the leader. If you're the protector, you're the protector. If you're not, we're not switching that, because we might switch at the wrong time. So you have to stand on it.
So
a
you
lot
think
of go ahead.
you think the men and the women control the relationship?
Yeah.
I feel like they out here cheating, man. I feel like they out here doing whatever they
Who?
want. The men. That's what
You
the
said
women complain about. The guys cheating, the guys doing
here's the
wild
thing.
stuff. Yeah,
The stats show that cheating is equal between men and women.
yeah.
So you're never gonna get rid of that. I mean, the best you could do is, like I said, as a man, this is a red pill thing. This is a manosphere thing. Somewhat. The real ones, this is what I tell men. You don't have to be monogamous. Right? I push for it because you can cut down on diseases and a bunch of children flying around, but you don't have to be monogamous, right? But if you can't be monogamous, let the woman know up front. That's my biggest thing. Let the woman know, hey, that's what I used to do. I'm like, hey, right now I'm chilling. We can do whatever. And they'll be like, all right, I'm cool with it. So as far as cheating, that's how I feel about it. You don't have to be monogamous, to just be straight up about it. When you don't follow your word and you're going behind your woman's back when you told her she the only one, that's the issue.
I feel you. I mean, you put definitely a good spin on it. Like, I mean, but like you said, there's other people in the red pill manosphere space, because I don't even know where the name came from. I don't even know when it like started. I didn't even know Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit worked together. So I mean, it's just like, I guess it's a new thing. It's a new, and then I guess it got political afterwards. After red pill came, then it got political after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think it's natural.
Yeah.
Red pill preaches accountability. Which party is about accountability?
Pulling the bootstraps, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know what? We got bad players all over, right? But if you look at what's being said, the right is about accountability, like you said, pull your bootstraps up, small business. The left is about, I don't want to say socialism, but Marxism in a sense. The government should do this. The government should pay for that. The government should give me food stamps when I made bad decisions. That type stuff. So and then you got to think about it. When you think like that, you don't want to hear some red pill coming around saying single mothers should be out there on their own. Single mothers left the father who was supposed to help you take care of your kids, not the government. You think they want to hear that? That's why I say it's real. When you really stop and listen to what's really being said, the red pill is not the enemy.
Right, but I feel like the Republicans aren't really embracing like red pill. Like it's kind of like it's more like it's just the guys giving the guys advice.
They don't publicly.
Yeah,
because the red pill. There are a lot of people who are weak and they follow society. That's what women do. Men aren't supposed to follow society. Men are supposed to set the standard to follow. But when you have certain men, like the governor in Florida that was like, well, let me look into it. I'm going to file an investigation on Andrew Tate. And I'm like, for what? Like, he didn't even do nothing in your country. That's him falling into what the feminists and stuff are saying.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Because my governor, I was like, and Ron DeSantis always doing some wild stuff. So I was like, Ron DeSantis turning on Andrew Tate. And then Byron Donalds, because he running for governor out here. He came out against him too. So I'm like, oh, wow. So I guess they're not rocking with him. Like,
and I don't think it's that. I think somebody like Byron Donalds is a chill dude. Like, he's real hardcore. So he'll look at somebody like Andrew Tate and be like, yo, he's a showboater.
Yeah.
That's just natural male interaction. That's what I'm trying to say. When people are like, the manosphere is falling apart. No. Alpha men just tend to butt heads. There's a hierarchy that has to be established. You just seeing it play out on the internet.
Who would you say is like the face of the red pill movement? Like right now?
Right now, who would be the face of it? I mean, I hate to say it, but Myron Gaines is in everybody's mouth right now. I still think Andrew Tate has a big pull, even though society's trying to shut him down. But as far as the let's say pop culture, I'm trying to figure out the right word for it. far as who it is for pop culture, I don't know because I don't listen to a lot of the guys I listen to. They fly under the radar. Like, look up Coach Greg Adams. He has something called the free agent lifestyle. And,
You feel like you're the next up? You're the next up to be the face of it?
I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah.
But I might be too boring.
Because they always doing wild stuff, huh?
Yeah, they popping bottles and expensive cars. Man, I'm not about all that. I like to wear my t-shirt and jeans and save money, and you know what I'm saying. And then once I get to my wealth, that's when and I still won't ever be flashy. I'm just not a flashy person.
Yeah, I seen that, and I don't know if you know who PPD is. You ever watch any of his stuff? It's like an Iranian dude.
I've heard of him.
Okay, so he do like Republican stuff, and he had Andrew Tate on there because I feel like Andrew Tate the face of it, but he was like the guy, his co-host was like, I hate that I go out and every chick that I talk to has like OnlyFans. Like he started going on, like basically kind of sound like kind of red pill, and it was he was in there with just a bunch of Republicans, and then the guy started going off on him. He was like, "Oh, why are you talking like that? This guy over here has daughters. Like, why are you saying stuff like that? Like, I can hang out with Andrew Tate, but I don't agree with everything he says." And then the guy's like, "Oh, well, why don't you have this type of smoke for Andrew Tate? Why are you talking to me like this?" He was like, "Well, I'm talking to you like this because he felt like it was a defeated attitude that he was saying like, oh, he can't find the right chick or he keeps finding these chicks on OnlyFans. Like he felt like you're supposed to like go and like solve your problems." So he was attacking Red Pill, saying that they complain too much, basically, and that they saying that that guy was saying all the girls he meet got OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
That I believe a lot that complain make it to the front, because to me that's a feminine trait, and what's pushed in the forefront now, feminine type stuff. If you see anything that's manly, they getting shut down. What's the dude name? Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Dude's Captain America, and they trying to cancel him.
Oh, because he said about his sons or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
got a question for you.
Let's see. I got a question for Vulgar. Since he is into red pill thing, what's his thoughts on looking back to our ancestors as examples? I'm talking on heroes across the diaspora. Let me see. I don't really get into a lot of the ancestor thing. I think the ancestors would be very upset at us to see the twerking, the broken homes, to see like they put in all this hard work, they got beat, all this stuff for us just to not respect ourselves as a community. So that's really how I feel as far as the ancestors, is that they would not be happy with us. Does that answer the question?
Does that answer your question, RJ? But we got Mr. Red Pill himself, Vulgar of the New Party. You have any more videos, did you?
Nah, I don't.
Like I said, we got Vulgar, Mr. Red Pill himself, so he was able to give us a lot of information on what the Red Pill has going on. I definitely got to look more into what Trump has going on with Ukraine. I know that he kind of bounced back and forth with that. As far as the child support and men taking care of their kids, I know people keep trying to say, oh, well, let's do this to the men. I just feel like, as a society, like it's probably more men take care of their kids now than or know who the parent is now more than ever. So like the women give the men a break to a certain extent. Just give the men a break. And then as far as the red pill, I'm learning more and more and more as I go through this, actually. I really didn't know much about red pill before doing this. And now I'm learning like who all these people are. And so I really don't think it's falling apart. I think that as long as there's a demand for men needing advice and the Republican parties around, it's probably be some form of the red pill. I don't see it going away anytime soon. Vulgar.
Yeah, I'll say that too. Like I said, if you put it in terms of pop culture, like with music, the red pill or the manosphere is kind of like it's falling out of the mainstream in a sense, which doesn't mean that it's dying. It just means it's transforming, and there's going to always be a place for it. There are people who, you know, they want to know where the jazz bar is, where's the speakeasy with the jazz playing, and jazz hasn't been a main source of music for years, but people still love it. So that's how I would look at the red pill. But you have the people who are against it that don't want accountability, and their main goal is to shut it down, because really what it's saying is, let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing. Let's get back to raising families. Let's get back to keeping our society safe. Let's get back to not acting like animals, which that's a lot of what's going on. So yes, red pill is not going anywhere. I hope that we don't end up in World War III, or I mean, maybe there's a need for it. Like I always say, if that happens or asteroid is heading this way, maybe the women will change their ways and be like, you know what? I was just playing. Me and we need you. All right, y'all. Man cave.